Imogen says I'm wearing a nice top.
Is that right?
Yes, a top.
All right.
It really is not for men. All right. We got to find out if we got anything wrong so far. So for that, we go to TV's Andy Levy.
Smooth as always.
Yes.
Yes. North Korean video. Jonathan, you said we should just calm down about this, that the production values are so awful. They show that they're years away from having VCRs, let alone nuclear weapons. But they do have nuclear weapons, don't they? The IAEA says they do.
They don't have ones that can reach us. All this talk about they'll get to Hawaii in July or whatever.
Right.
I mean, really, we're going to fall for that line again? I honestly think they're a long way away from it. And I'm an expert in nuclear physics as well. So.
Yeah. No, I would agree. They don't have a rocket system that can
there's one
get the
thing.
weapon
There's one
to
that
us.
it's a completely different thing. Getting a nuclear weapon and being able to get it to such miniature size that you can put it on a warhead.
Right.
People need to understand that. Those two different technologies are years and years away.
On the other hand, they could walk it through a tunnel into South Korea.
They could. That's South Korea.
Okay. Wow, I didn't realize you hated South Koreans.
I love South Korea.
Yeah, okay, we see where you stand.
I don't know how many tunnels there are.
A lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you been in them?
I've been at them.
You've been at the tunnels?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was stationed on the DMZ.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
That's okay.
He used to be jacked.
What were you stationed there as?
I was in the Army.
Really?
Yeah.
He was I think of you more as a little sort of garden gnome they might have put there or something.
But a patriotic gnome, Andy. A patriotic gnome.
Are you suggesting, sir, that garden gnomes can't serve their country?
No, absolutely not. And I'm sure you served your country in a spectacularly garden gnomish
If women can be in combat, garden gnomes certainly can.
Thank you for your service, Andy.
I was in the KISS Army.
You don't have to thank me, Jonathan. It wasn't the service. It wasn't to your country.
That's true, yeah. But thank you for saving us in World War II. I know you were there.
You're welcome. I was there. Winnie and I were on the beaches. Patrick, you said the problem isn't North Korea. It's the countries like Iran and Syria that might get North Korea to do its dirty work, which is a really unpleasant thought, so thanks for that. But it's also, it's not like those countries aren't afraid of doing their own dirty work, right?
Well, but you're right. But I think that with they also have diplomatic relationships with other countries that they need, so they can't go. I mean, I guess Syria, but Iran still needs Russia and some other places. So I mean, again, it's the crazy redneck cousin. If you can get somebody else to do it for you, and not get the blame, then why not? I think that was a Tom Clancy novel.
Yeah, well, as I deplore your racist use of the word redneck, but other than that, I agree with you.
Well, I'm one, so I can say it.
Hey, if you're, but then again, if you don't have a crazy redneck cousin, then that means you are the crazy redneck cousin, right?
Could very well be. Yes.
That makes no sense.
That was deep.
It was deep.
Imogen, you said we should blame Google for this video.
Yeah.
In fact, the video has been removed from Google-owned YouTube. According to the New York Times, this is because of a copyright complaint from Activision, which makes the Call of Duty video games that the burning New York City scenes were taken from.
Okay, I'd still like to know what the Google delegation were doing in North Korea. I mean, John McCain was very upset. Yeah. But he's always upset. So.
I think they were creating awareness.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Bill and Greg, Cato is neither a libertarian think tank nor the Green Hornet's assistant. He was Inspector Clouseau's servant.
Nah,
Really can't believe you guys didn't know that.
you are so wrong. Kato was the Green Hornet's sidekick.
Sidekick, yes.
No, he was Inspector Clouseau's assistant.
And what
he
was
also
what was the Green Hornet's sidekick?
Yeah.
Kato. Okay, well then he was. Well, you can't say I was wrong just because there's another option.
Wasn't he actually the
what I
key
did
witness in the O.J. Simpson murder trial?
Yes.
and there too, yeah.
I actually had drinks with him once. It was an interesting time.
Wow.
Inspector Clouseau's servant?
No, Kato Kalin.
I don't know who that is.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Never called me.
I don't think he knew how to work a phone.
No, that was true.
Yeah.
He had nice highlights.
Yeah.
The magazine. You could barely read.
Found all those pictures in the trees, though, or whatever.
Yes, he was good at that.
Yeah, whatever that was called. Drones killing American citizens. Patrick, you said the Obama administration has thrown out the Constitution on this. Well, they say an informed high-level official is all that's needed to decide if the standard for due process is met for the killing of an American citizen. Now, I assumed it must say this in the Constitution. Then I borrowed Eric Bolling's copy, and I read it from front to back. It doesn't say that anywhere. So you're right.
Well, okay.
Yeah, it's confusing to me. How can they do that?
I don't know.
Imogen, you said
Yeah.
you can't just throw American citizens in jail indefinitely without due process.
Well,
But
That-
Justice O'Connor wrote in Hamdi versus Rumsfeld that, quote, due process demands that a U.S. citizen held in the United States must be given a meaningful opportunity to contest that factual basis for that detention before a neutral decision maker. So you're right, too. I don't understand any of this.
I don't think you've ever called me right before.
Yeah, this is really
That's
weird.
the anniversary thing's gone to everyone's head.
Yeah. The thing is, you could argue, Imogen, that this doesn't apply to U.S. citizens who represent an imminent threat to America.
But you're basing that on intelligence. Intelligence
Right.
can be wrong, as we saw with weapons of mass destruction when we went to war with Iraq.
Yeah.
We
Also,
can't keep using that example because we were right a million other times.
but Greg, the other problem here is that the administration has defined imminent threat down so much that I don't even think it applies.
But that's the issue. It's very, very vague. You don't know where it begins or where it ends.
Yeah.
And I think that's what alarms a lot of people, Andy, and I understand their alarm.
While not sharing it.
Yes, I don't share it, but I understand it.
The whole thing to me, it's an imminence front. It's a put on.
Yeah, oh, I wanted to do that.
If I was Alex Jones, I'd be very, very scared of him.
Yes. Yes.
If you were Alex Jones, you'd be going like this.
Along these lines, Greg, you said if Americans are waging war in America, then as far as you're concerned, they're not American citizens.
Yes.
But as Imogen was getting at, what if an informed high-level official says an American citizen is waging war in America, orders the killing of that person, and then turns out they're wrong?
Whoops. I don't know. I mean, these are things that maybe there has to be some kind of what are those things called? That
Autobots.
No, yes. God, avocados.
Lincoln Logs.
No, there should be some stopgap
Judicial
procedures or yes to make sure this doesn't happen.
Yeah. See, to me, conservatives are supposed to be distrustful of government claims, aren't they?
Yes.
Yes.
So why do you just
absolutely.
assume that because the government says someone is working with Al Qaeda that they are?
But in the pursuit of war, have we not killed innocent people before accidentally?
Accidentally, but now
this
we're
is
talking
not
about targeting them.
Well, no. Well, you're saying no, but it would be an accident if we got the wrong person. We said, "Oops, they weren't really a member of Al Qaeda." But really, is this? The technology is different, but is the act of war any different than it was 200 years ago in terms of innocent people get killed as collateral damage?
But you're not talking. This is not collateral damage. We're talking about specifically targeting people, and we're talking about specifically
What do you think
targeting
happened
American.
in the air raids in World War II?
But we're talking right now about specifically targeting American citizens
Right.
who are supposed to be able to prevail themselves of constitutional rights.
Yeah, you have a point, but still, they've got Michael Bublé on their iPod. I still say.
All right. Nobody's talking. Nobody's saying that's a bad thing.
All right. Okay. Good. All right. As long as we're clear.
That's
on
actually in the white paper, the Bublé exception.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he is Canadian, so
think that was-
none of
wasn't
this
that also-
Constitution things apply.
Wasn't that a Dan Brown book?
No, it was like the Bourne Protocol. It's
Yeah,
called
it was
the
the
Bublé,
Bublé
exception.
Exception, yeah.
Yes. 700 pages.
Yeah.
Oh. It was just him running through Europe playing the piano. He'd stop. He'd run like this, play the piano. Then he'd run, stop, play the piano. Just like Bourne Protocol.
You know, I don't think we're to get off topic, but
I was on no
Get
topic.
back on Bublé!
on this point, I'm not advocating that the government is completely powerless on this, but they need to declare either revoke citizenship or declare them as a combatant.
Yeah,
or do
it's-
something.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What, and give them a warning so they can run away from the drones?
That's a different point.
That's a good
But
point,
Patrick,
too.
I don't believe that the government can just sit there and revoke someone's citizenship without a process, can they?
Well, no, I was just using an example. I was just saying do something.
Although apparently they can do a lot of things without due process. So
Hey, with the 16-page memo, you can do anything.
yeah, all right.
But isn't it better not to have this big committee talking about who is an enemy combatant and who isn't? Now at least we know where to go. The president made the decision. He's the one who's responsible if it does go wrong. At least somebody's saying the buck stops here.
Well, I'm sure that'd be a lot of comfort to someone who was erroneously killed,
What, we erroneously kill people all the time.
but not on purpose.
Well, yeah, it kind of is on purpose. If it's, I don't know. Yeah, you might be right. You're smarter than me.
I
Give
think-
up. Andy wins.
Oh, don't give him that.
I think I'm going to open up a hair salon and call it Due Process.
But will you also sell tops?
Yes, I will sell tops. In the back.
I'm going to open up a litter box store called Doo Doo Process.
Ravens cheerleader says she didn't get to perform in the Super Bowl because she put on a couple pounds. Greg, you mentioned that the Ravens could only bring 32 cheerleaders to the Super Bowl. And that was out of 60, so 27 didn't make the trip.
Exactly. And she was the only one that registered a complaint.
Yep. But, you know, she says, what kind of message is that sending little girls about role models? Maybe don't be a cheerleader?
Yeah. Exactly. And there's a million women that would like that spot.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
So I believe 60 minus 32 is 28. By the way, Andy, you said 27. If we're on the fact checking beat here.
Wait, how many went?
Come on, quick calculator.
No, you're absolutely right.
Thank you. There you go. All right, I'm back even with Andy Levy.
Well.
I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong.
No, and I just admitted
Unlike
that I
the
might
rest of
be
you.
maybe wrong.
I'm done.
All right, go away. Coming up, you know where you are. You're in the jungle, baby. You're going to die. Not a story. That's just what Bill Hemmer yelled at me right before I escaped from his basement. Jerk. But first, ooh, day, baby. Oh, no, they didn't, said my pet turtle at breakfast this morning. Shut up, turtle.